Good morning, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you are well this morning. So it's time for April's mission inspiration. The art challenges for this month are Alchemy and Chaos, something different rather than your usual April showers, daffodils and tulips kind of Eastery themed thing for April. Thought we'd do something a little bit different, just to kind of, keep it a bit fresh. So we've got Alchemy and Chaos. So your theme is transformation, magic and change. So you could theoretically do, metamorphosis as well if you wanted to. And your ingredients to include this month are gold or bronze. Now that's going to be a difficult one. I know definitely I haven't got any gold paint, but I'll do my best. Geometric shapes. That can be anything from triangles, squares to circles to hexagons to, honeycomb. Clock or timepiece fragments. Okay, we'll see what we've got. And collage, paper scraps and mark making. So we're just going to be playing around with bits of paper today. So as you can see, I've already stuck my prompt sheet onto the inside front cover, which is what I've been doing for all of them this month or this year. And we're going to be working on this. So to start off with, I've jumped back into Ian's paper pad, The Gentleman of Science, because I thought, well, Alchemy and Chaos, these guys in their scientific laboratories are kind of alchemical. They're kind of scientific, aren't they? Look at all this equipment here. It looks like a laboratory. It looks like an alchemist's kind of place, doesn't it? So, and I wanted a kind of like a focal figure somewhere, either bottom left or bottom right. So as I was flicking through, I came across this one, which I've already pulled out. This one here, this young man here. So I thought that would be perfect for sticking down as the first layer. I know, as the first layer, and there's loads going on that page. So let me just grab my paper trimmer, because I am going to need to, I've not got a lot of space on my desk today, and I'm working in a kind of confined, little bit of a confined area today, because we've got somebody working in the house today. So Nipper's come out and he's sat behind me in his bed, all snuggled, because he doesn't want to be in the house. He doesn't like the noise, doesn't like the upset, bless him. Yesterday he wasn't feeling quite so good, so we let him have a duvet day yesterday. So we didn't take him for a walk yesterday. He just got up when he wanted to, which he did just before lunch, which was nice for him. There we go. So he had a bit of a lie-in yesterday. Right, so I'm going to stick this down. Maybe could do just a little bit more, actually. Just taking off that right-hand side. So April's already shaping up to be a bit of a busy month.
I've just come in for the tape measure, Mike.
Have you?
I have.
Where's the yellow one?
Haven't got a clue.
Oh.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. I'll lock it, you're okay.
Okay.
There we go, just Ian popping in. Alright, so let's get that glued down as our first layer. That's the thing with these paper pads, because they're double-sided. It's like, which one do I use? Which one do I choose? Alright. So let's get that stuck down. So we've got a little bit of a white kind of frame all the way around. Now you can take this alchemical thing to whatever extreme that you want to. You can do proper alchemical symbols if you want to do in your journal page, or you can just use symbols in general, things that help you create. There you go, there's a good kind of general one. And for that, since I've got lots of fragments of sewing patterns, if you know, you know what I'm doing with these. I'm not sewing, but I have recently created a new art paper pad where I have used old sewing patterns like this, fragmented them up and relayered them and integrated them into a new composition for a different purpose other than making a skirt or a dress. So let's just get rid of those. All right, so as part of kind of like that alchemical feel of symbolism and symbols that we're not quite sure what they all mean, because I've got no idea what half these symbols mean. So this is all magic and science to me. So we'll get some matte medium. Just give it a shake first. Just splodge some down on there. Can't remember the last time I used any matte medium in an art journal page. This is the first for quite some time. Okay, so which way, yeah, should we do it that way? So the paper in the paper pads is £115, 170 GSM, so it can take a little bit of moisture when you're using the paper. Let's use another one over here. So we can do this. Now it will kind of disappear. As you've seen that one, it's kind of like disappearing off into the background, but I just want to just whiz my scissors round there. And all these arrows and things and circles and dotted lines and all that kind of stuff are very alchemical to me. Like I said, it's all strange. It's a different language. The language of creating clothes, tailoring, seamstress. Just, yeah, I have no idea. Absolutely no idea. But that, you know, it's a good thing. Certainly is a good thing. One can't know everything, nor does one want to know everything. There we go. So I'll just give that. And it kind of does disappear into the background. You see you've just got those lines now. It's just going over his face a little bit there, but that's okay, that doesn't matter. Right, so I think those two pieces there are going to be enough for that. So let's look at like the geometric shapes now. So I tried to find clocks. Believe it or not, I couldn't find anything. I've not got anything printed already that's got clocks on it, and my printer at the moment is kaputting. It's kaputting. So instead I've got these. So one is, well, it's a meter of some kind, and this one's a compass. I thought, well, you know, that will do. That will do for now. So I thought we would introduce, because we've got circles in here as well, I thought I would introduce those into the mix. In a kind of, God, crikey. He's coughing a bit this morning, is Mr. Ian. And then we can maybe introduce a little bit of a tag. Maybe just, no, I'm not going to put that there. Looks rather rude, that. Change my mind, not putting that there. Let's have a look. Have we got another? There's another one here, look. Another one here. So let's have a look about layering a little bit. Right. Let's see if we can, because we've got, I think that's going to be perfect just there, across there. Just move it a little bit further up that way. And it is supposed to be, it says chaos, so we're okay with it being a bit unruly. And again, don't forget, if you want to, you can just use a brush or just tear at these ever so slightly just to kind of feather those edges. I'm not particularly bothered about that today. But I like this kind of, that's it. I like this kind of effect here. So because it's tissue paper, it literally will just soak straight in. So you don't have to go on both sides. There we go. And it will dry fairly quickly. A little bit of wrinkleage, but that's okay. So almost, like I said, almost alchemical. Right, let's get that dried off and I'll be right back. That's dry now. So I'm just going to go back to this gold or bronze. So I've had a real good dig through my Neocolour collections, and I've got this bronze Neocolour 2 from Caran d'Ache and this dark gold. Now, sorry, let me just bring that down. I've locked off the focus on the desktop, so I can't really do a close-up for you. And I'm hoping that this might actually be metallic. Now, I can't remember, because it's been such a long time since I've used these, whether this is real gold or not. If it is, what we can do, just introduce a little bit of that gold into the background. Yeah, I don't think I'm getting much sparkle from that. But this bronze one, let's have a look. Let's see if we can add it directly to the paper and see what it gives us. Just wet my brush, because you can put these down and then just maneuver them around. Yeah, I'm not happy with that at the moment, so we may have to come back and do something else, gold or bronze. All right, so it was worth a try. I haven't used those for quite some time, so, you know, like I said, it was worth a try. All right, so let's glue down some of these circular aspects, these circular bits. So just grab my Tombow Mono Aqua. That's the glue I'm using. In case you're interested, you may probably already know. So I think, I don't want to cover all that up, but you know, if we do, we do. Give that a bit of a glue down there. Yeah, actually, I'm going to break that up there. And then we can get to the business of mark making. Right, so this is my mark making collection. And then we've got some circular bits, lids, tops that we can utilise. So I've got some gesso, give that a good shake. Right, dip in with that black, and then I'm going to come in and just add a few circles here, and then I can come up here, add some overlapping circles that kind of balance out. So because we've got them here and we're doing it kind of, it mirrors and it balances out. There we go. That's for that size. And then I've got some smaller ones. See how these circles kind of mirror what's in the background there. Yes. All right, so just leave those out to dry for now. Oh, I could just give them a wipe. And then let me go straight back into my mark making kit, which is a good thing to have. A little collection of weird shapes that you can call on to make marks. Combs, brushes, bits of Lego maybe, other bricks are available, etc, etc, etc. All sorts of different, oh, we've got some bubble wrap. We've got some bubble wrap. Now then, shall we introduce a bit of white into that background? Is that white gesso? It is white gesso. There we go. Let's just dip in there with some white gesso. And then what we can do is we can break up some of those areas. It is a bit chaotic, but then it's supposed to be. It says so there. I want to put a little bit down here. Here we go. And I'll throw that piece of bubble wrap away. I've got loads of it. All right. All right, let me get all that dried and then I'll be right back. So I've discovered a way of adding the gold. I've just had a look. I've definitely got no gold paint. And I've just had a look to see if I had any indigo blue luscious pigment powders in gold. Don't even have any of those anymore either. I really do need to restock, don't I? But I do have some Sizzix Luster Wax in gold. And I have a Uniball, Signo Uniball pigment ink pen in gold, which is okay for detailing. But I wanted something a bit more in your face, if you like. So we're going to go with the wax. So I've got a stencil brush, which I usually use when I'm doing the waxing. And I've got this. So this is my Speckle Splatters stencil. And I thought we could add some of that into the art journal page with the wax. So if I just grab a little bit of the wax on there and then just start taking it through the stencil and adding a little layer of luster. We don't often think about adding gold wax to our journal page. We always tend to go for gold paint, probably because the wax may rub off. But that's fine. I don't really mind that today. We're talking about creativity through chaos anyway, aren't we? So let's just embrace the crazy and go with it. Yes, interesting. Let's just add some up there. Because it will cover and go over the top of your black paint. Let's have a little bit down here. I'm losing bristles on this brush like I don't know what. So this will stand out more in the dark on his coat, I think. I think it's picking the shine up a little bit. Interesting one. Let's just come in with this gold pen and let's just see whether or not we can add. The gold is going to be very subtle. I'm just going to outline. It's almost just like a little bit of extra detail. The trick is, I suppose, is just knowing when to say, do you know what, I've had enough, that's it, don't do any more. So let me just quickly have a quick tidy and a clean up, and then I'll be right back. So that's had time to dry now. So I'll just lift that up so you can just see that gold shimmering just up here, down here, and a little bit down in the middle there. So I think I'm going to call it a day with this. I just want to add a final quote just to the art journal page. So I've just printed off on my computer a little quote. I'll just grab some distressing because I don't want this pristine. Could do with it being a little bit grungy. I think my distressing is finally, after about 10 years, starting to run out. It's drying up. There we go. So that's the first bit. Put a little bead of glue on there. And I'm going to put that across there. And then just quickly grab some more ink on there, and then we just quickly whiz round. That's it. Oh, just put the lid back on the glue, looking like I haven't stuck anything down yet. Duh. Let's move that so it's breaking into there. So the quote, chaos is the raw material of creation, which it is. If you think about the way the universe was created, out of chaos. All right, so just to kind of finish off, I do want to add some splatters because I've got to, it's the law. Excuse me. Oh, right, there's my ladle splatter brush. Grab some white, bit of water, bit more water. I'm not going to add loads. Just want to add enough just to kind of break up that background a little. I'm trying not to get any on his face. And as we've said before, these splatters kind of do help to unify a piece of artwork. It's a small thing, but it just works. It's one of those tricks of the trade. If in doubt, unify with splatters. Right, I'm going to add white splatters, which I've just done. I'm going to get that dried off, and I'm going to come in and I'm going to add some black too. Because why not? In for a penny, in for a pound, as they say. All right, now it's time for black. Just clean that brush a little. Let's grab some of that black paint from there. This is a bit gloopier. Obviously, I've not had the lid on as tight. Oh, look at that, and I've managed to get it on his head. See, that's the thing, chaos, absolute chaos. So if I'm really, really careful, I might just be able to lift that off. No. There we go, you see, ruined at the last minute. And there's your creative chaos right there. If there ever was a demonstration, then that was it. All right, so that's dry. So not wishing to be one of those type of art journal people on YouTube that don't show you how they've rectified a mistake, I'm going to. Right, can you see up here, look, where I'd got splodges on his head and I said, oh, look, I've ruined it. Right, what I've done is I've just come back in with a very, very fine brush, a really, really fine brush, and I've got some indigo blue paints. Now, these are from their portrait collection. So it's like the skin tones, if you like, and I've got everything from dark, warm, kind of like cocos right the way through to rouges and apricots. This one's fair and this one's medium beige. So if you notice, I'll try just to kind of zoom in a little bit if I can in post-edit. I've just gone in and just dabbed where I've kind of got those black splodges and just gone over the top to get rid of those marks. And I think I've recovered that fairly well. Well, I think so anyway. And I'll just want to grab a pen, black pen, and I want to go around now and just add a final border. So I'm just going to do one of my kind of scrabbly borders all the way around. Just to kind of frame. Again, just to add to that creative chaos a little. And then I just want to add one final thing. As you do, because while I'm just sat looking at it, thinking about it, I'm thinking, do you know what, it just needs one final kind of pop of colour and then I'll be happy. So I've already gone into my collection and you see this red in the background here, there's a little bit of red here, there's a little bit of red there. It just needs to be brought to that foreground just a little bit. So I've gone into my stamp collection on vintage stamps and I've pulled out a little red stamp. This is a Dutch stamp and I just want to stick it there in that corner just as a little pop of colour, but I do want to darken it down a little bit, so I'm just going to go over very gently with some distress ink just to kind of grunge it where it sits and push it further into that background so it's not quite as strong. And I think now I'm happy with that page. So I'm going to just sign it down here at the bottom. And today obviously is the 4th of the 4th. There we go. So that is my mission inspiration art journal page for the month of April 2026. So I hope you've enjoyed watching me create this art journal page based on the prompts that we've done. So let's just quickly tick. Yes, we've got gold. Yes, we've got geometric shapes. Clock or timepiece fragments. Well, it's sort of. I'll give it a half a tick. Collage, paper scraps, and mark making, and we've definitely included chaos into the mix. So like I said, I hope you've enjoyed watching me create this art journal page today. If you have, please remember to give the video a thumbs up, and don't forget you can share the video with your friends. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel already, you can do so by clicking the button at the end of the video. And if you want to join us over on our Mission Inspiration Facebook group for more monthly art challenges, then on screen there, that is the URL for the Facebook page, but there will be a clickable link below this video. That's all from me for now. I'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye for now. I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels, because without you, these videos would not be possible. And don't forget, you can access your exclusive angel-only content over on my website. There's a link in the description area below. Thank you.